7 reasons everything feels so overwhelming. Have you ever had one of those days where nothing dramatic happens, yet your entire system feels like it's carrying invisible weight? A normal message hits too hard. A small task feels impossible. One more responsibility, and something inside you just tilts. Most people assume this means you're failing, or you're not resilient enough, but that's not what's happening at all. What you're feeling is your brain moving through overload patterns. The same patterns linked to mental fatigue, cognitive strain, and the quiet buildup of overwhelmingness. Today, we're going into 7 real, research-backed reasons why your mind gets pushed into this state. Because once you understand what's happening underneath the surface, you stop blaming yourself, and you start recognizing the mechanics behind the feeling. 1. Cognitive overload. Think of your brain like a system running too many processes at once. Not breaking, not collapsing, just slowing. One more notification, one more thought, one more tiny responsibility. Each one opens another mental tab, and eventually, your working memory becomes saturated. This is the same phenomenon psychologists call mental bandwidth depletion, the point where your brain is juggling more than it can genuinely hold. And that's when the glitches start. Rereading the same line, losing your train of thought, forgetting simple tasks. Your brain wasn't built for 20 simultaneous inputs. It was built for one threat at a time. Modern life hits you with dozens, not dangerous, but demanding. And the moment those demands exceed your capacity, that overwhelming feeling isn't an emotion, it's a neurological response. And that overload system sets the stage for the next form of drain, one that most people never even notice happening. 2. Decision fatigue. By noon, you've already made hundreds of tiny choices. What to respond to, what to ignore, what to wear, what to click, what to focus on, what to postpone. Each one chips away at your cognitive energy. This is what researchers call decision fatigue, and it shows up in ways you don't expect. You avoid simple tasks, you delay choices that should take seconds, and you stare at your screen, unable to move in any direction. And here's the twist. Most people mistake this for laziness, but it's actually your prefrontal cortex running out of fuel. Your brain gets tired before your body does. And when the ability to choose weakens, everything else begins collapsing too. That's when your emotional system takes over, and that's where the real shutdown begins. 3. Emotional and mental burnout. Burnout doesn't arrive loudly, it creeps in. At first, you're just tired, then a little numb. Then you sit down to do something simple, and nothing inside you activates. That's because prolonged stress pushes your brain into self-preservation mode. It shuts down everything that isn't essential: motivation, creativity, focus, even pleasure. Stress is loud, burnout is quiet. And when burnout settles in, even the smallest task feels disproportionate. But here's the important part. Burnout leaves your brain more vulnerable to everything else, including one of the biggest overwhelm triggers in the modern world. 4. Information overload. From the moment you wake up, the world throws information at you. Messages, updates, opinions, warnings, headlines, drama, noise. And whether you think it matters or not, your brain processes every single input. Psychologists call this information saturation. When your mind absorbs more than it can meaningfully organize, your senses dull, your focus scatters, your mental energy drains just from existing in the flow. And this creates a dangerous illusion. You feel exhausted, not because of what you did, but because of what you had to process. Even harmless content counts. Even entertainment counts. And once this saturation hits, it triggers a deeper, more destabilizing shift, one that makes even tiny tasks feel impossible. 5. Prioritization collapse. When your brain has too much on its plate, it loses its ability to sort things by importance. And when your mind can't prioritize, everything starts to feel urgent. A small message feels stressful. A simple errand feels heavy. An email notification feels like a threat. This is what psychologists call task paralysis. Not because you don't want to act, but because your brain can't identify a clear starting point. You're not overwhelmed by quantity. You're overwhelmed by uncertainty. And that uncertainty multiplies when expectations around you are unclear. A pressure few people recognize as the silent root of overwhelm. 6. Cognitive load from unclear expectations and constant distraction. Your brain can handle stress. What it can't handle is stress without direction. Ambiguous expectations from work, from people, even from yourself create a constant prediction loop. Your mind keeps trying to calculate the right move, and every attempt drains energy. Add constant interruptions, and your cognitive load spikes even higher. A single distraction doesn't cost seconds. It costs the effort of rebuilding your entire chain of thought. Over time, this interrupts your mental rhythm so often that your brain becomes tired, not from doing tasks, but from trying to return to them. And when your mind is stretched thin, something deeper becomes activated, something tied to the way your nervous system reacts to the world. 7. Sensory and emotional reactivity. Some people simply feel life more intensely. Sounds hit harder, stress lands deeper, emotions linger longer. This isn't a weakness. It's a trait linked to high sensory and emotional sensitivity, a form of heightened neural processing. When your nervous system is already activated, even small stressors feel amplified, such as a tone shift, a short reply, or a tight deadline.
Your fight or flight system doesn't shut down just because the moment passes.
It shuts down when your body feels safe, and many people never reach that reset point. So, when something small pushes you over the edge, you're not reacting to the moment, you're reacting to the accumulation. Your brain has been running in overdrive, while you're expected to behave like everything is normal. And once you understand that, the final truth becomes clear. It's not that you can't handle life. It's not that you're too emotional. You're not failing. You're simply carrying more stress, more input, and more internal strain than your mind and body were built for. And the moment you see that, everything that once felt impossible becomes something you can finally understand and take back control of.